Hi, and welcome to that stream live of Baking with me. Oh, I forget my napkin. Gonna put the napkin, and we're ready. Here we go. So today we're gonna do goat cheese and spinach quiche or pie, depend the country you're in. So for this recipe, we're gonna need for the crust 200 grams of flours, an egg, a tiny bit of salt, and some butter within the fridge. And another gram of butter. For the mix, we're gonna need some milk, some cream, some eggs. And after, we're gonna have to cook our spinach, cut the goat cheese, and put everything in the quiche and be ready for bake. So for that recipe, we need to bake it like around, I put 20 minutes, but I think it's a bit low. It's more gonna be like 30-40 minutes. So we need to preheat the oven at 200 degrees or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Here we go. So to start the recipe, first we're gonna make our dough. So for the pie crust, we're gonna need a robot today. You can either do it with a robot or do it by hand, or I showed it on the precedent video. Hi, how's it going, Soup? So we're gonna put our flour in there and all the butter in there. For this recipe, we're gonna use a paddle, like that. Mine is a cane wood, so it looks like a big K. Here we put it in there. And we're gonna start turning. Maybe there's gonna be some noise. Up, we put it on slow medium, more slow, like here I put it on speed 1, till it looks like sand. Here, and this you can see better with the top camera. During that time, we can start to prepare spinach. So I have fresh spinach for the recipe, but you can use frozen one too if you want. So first I'm gonna get rid of all the stem of the spinach, because it's gonna be way better. Let's go take a bowl to get rid of all the stem, and another bowl full of spinach. Because with the stem, it's gonna give like a chewy texture. It doesn't cook that well. And mostly when it's big one like that. Of course, I cleaned them before, because if they're not clean, like the fresh one, they're all sandy. It's not good in the mouth. So always clean your spinach. So I keep looking at my dough to be sure that it's not gonna agglomerate. I can add my salt now if I want to. So always in my hand, a small quantity, and pop a tiny pinch of salt. That's not the funniest part to clean the spinach, but you have to do it. I mean, you can skip it, but it's just gonna be like way worse of a recipe after. I don't know if you heard me too. I told you hi. I hope you're doing okay this morning. You keep doing that. We're almost done. So here, when I'll do, start adding still a tiny bit of butter, but you see, it starts having like this sandy texture. That means like it's almost ready. So it's just like some big chunk in there that's not broken yet. You're gonna keep turning for like 2 more minutes probably. So today, while making the spinach, I'm gonna see if I have enough mix and enough dough to make small ones. We're gonna use the circle today for the big pie, but you can also use one of those if you want. You can use one of those if you want. But me today, I'm gonna use those ones. So if you wanna make them home, you don't have to have the exact same materials as I have. All of them can be made homemade. If you want to see how I made the dough homemade yesterday, you can go watch the replay. So I haven't decided yet the recipe I'm gonna do next week. I was thinking for one of the recipes gonna be chocolate eclair. Because who doesn't like chocolate eclair? Maybe you can make some vanilla one too. Done with the spinach. I'm gonna clean my hands, please. Spinach left. So, when the dough looks ready, you're just gonna grab the egg and crack it in there. When you use the robots, it's way harder to manage to know like when your dough is like wet enough. So always prepare a tiny bit of like medium warm water. So if you see that your dough is too dry, you can incorporate it right away. Because if you don't incorporate it right away, the water is never gonna incorporate. Just a tiny bit. You're gonna put like sip by sip. Spinach all clean and ready. So I'm gonna crack the egg in there. And I'm gonna higher the speed. And if I see that my dough is a bit too dry, like now, I'm gonna add a tiny bit of water. Here we go. And now we finish mixing it. Here we go. We have a nice pie crust. So to put it out, I'm gonna grab a bit of flour, put it in there, grab the bit of flour of dough to stay stuck on the paddle. egg on the countertop, so I'm just gonna clean a tiny bit here because it's where I'm gonna roll my dough. Do it well. Let's put it out, it's a little bit better. There we go, all nice and clean. So, from my dough in there, maybe first put a tiny bit of flour on my counter. From my dough, it's all nice and soft, so it's gonna be too hot to work with. So, for your dough, if you want to use that one, me, I'm gonna use the one without the bottom. But if you want to use that one, you're just gonna spread a bit of butter everywhere, put flour everywhere after, and then like just tap it to get rid of the overflow of flour. So you're sure your quiche is not gonna get stuck in the bottom. For those, it's easier because you just have to pop it out and you're good to go. So let's start rolling. The dough is a bit sticky, so a tiny bit of flour on the other side. There we go. And keep rolling. We're gonna roll it till we have like the right size. For the right size, we need to have this a tiny bit bigger than the circle here. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Alright, be the right size. Here. So we're gonna put it. Can we do a small one with that? No, not yet. So what we're gonna do is we're going to cut right here with the knife. Nice circle around. Rubble dough, we're gonna use it to make small ones. So, next we're gonna put a pie crust in a mold. I'm gonna grab some paper, I'm gonna use scissors because this paper is a bit annoying. There we go, like that. If you want tiny technique to grab your dough, you just grab it, put it around the roll, and roll the roll. So like this hop, you just have your dough around there. And after, just unroll it. On the mold. There we go. This now I can just manipulate it how I want. Go where I want it to be. So we're gonna put it all the way in the bottom here. See, for those ones, you really need to go in the bottom, like have a nice angle. Some people like to use a brush to do it. Me, I don't like it because they often leave like hair. when you brush, you know, it's getting a bit old. Not even sometimes it's not getting old. It is like the hairbrush sometime in the bottom, and it's annoying to see. So we're gonna do that. And I'm gonna show you a tiny technique. Here you're gonna be like, wow, your edges are not like really big. Your quiche is not gonna be super deep. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold a tiny bit the edge here. Just a tiny bit. So we're gonna be able to use that to have like a bigger edge. And here, after, we're just gonna use a roll and roll over it. So like this, it leaves some of the edges. You see, it doesn't look that great for the moment, but in a second, you will understand. So here, like this, I have a good amount of dough left. And so I can start doing like some borders with it. So you should get used to it. Here we go. So like this, you can put even more of the liquid in there if you want to make it like a bit higher, or just like for decorations, you know. Or just for decorations. There we go. Gotta do this all the way around. Some people like to just like pinch it like that too. Just do like a tiny pinch. Doesn't look as pretty like that, but it can be easier. Finish it like that then. Alright. So the dough is ready here. If you have space in your fridge, you can put it in your fridge, but it's here and it's not too warm, so it should be okay to just leave it out. I'm gonna do the small ones now, because we have some of it. Maybe I'm gonna do the small one after. Just gonna keep the dough here. We're just gonna start baking the big one. So, for the big one, we're gonna start cooking our spinach. So we're just gonna grab a tiny bit of butter. Put it in the bottom of the pot. Grab a tiny bit of olive oil. So like this, the butter is not gonna burn. And we're gonna melt it. During that time, we are going to grab a pot. Be a bigger one. Not a pot, but a bowl. Perfect. With the butter. We don't need it to be melted all the way. We're just gonna start putting our spinach in there. If the pot is big enough, you can put all of it. But you see the spinach is quite fluffy, and after it's quite like massive. So here, and we start mixing it. For the spices, usually I'm gonna use salt, some ground pepper, and some espelette pimento, and a little bit of nutmeg. While this is cooking, I'm gonna prepare my quiche mix. So for the quiche mix, it's gonna be 150 grams of cream, 150 grams of eggs, 150 grams I can do it, of milk, some salt, and some spices. Here I put ground pepper and nutmeg, and of course a bit of salt. So we're gonna crack our eggs. If you don't want to do like the same mistake I always do, there we go. Break your eggs before adding your cream and your milk, because after it's gonna be super annoying to clean up, like to be able to mix them together. So here, break them first. We're gonna add our cream, 150 grams approximately. Yeah, so a tiny bit left in there. And then the milk. Here I'm gonna start adding my salt, my ground pepper. It's almost ready. When you touch eggs, always clean your hands. When I was in baking class, my teacher will always like, clean your hands. The eggs of the chicken is coming from their butt, so clean your hand well. Here, the spinach ready. I'm gonna turn it off. See, we thought we had a lot of spinach, but here we go. We don't have that much left. Here we're gonna start adding a tiny bit of muscade, some salt, pepper, and just a tiny bit of espelette pimento. Here we go. Mix well. Here we are going to cut the goat cheese. Here I use like not a really fancy goat cheese, but you can use like either like crappy one like that one, or really like fancy one. You see the difference is there, but the price too. So I'm gonna cut them in nice circles. I usually like to have like a few of them really nice, and the rest here, that part here, I'm just gonna scramble it inside the quiche. So now you know every pastry it's like the Avengers, they assemble at some point. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab our goat cheese, cut it in pieces here. Here we go. Scrambled it and gather it like everywhere. All the way inside. And here we're gonna grab our spinach and the same. Just gonna gather some everywhere. After it's like the taste. If you like them really cheesy, you can put them really cheesy. You can even like mix them. You know, quiches. You do one, you can do all of them. You can do them with like peppers. You can do them with like broccoli. You can do them with lardon. You can like. It's so easy to make. It's so good. And here, after, we're gonna put all mix in here. The quiche mix. And here we go. If you don't want to lose any, always use Marie's. So you can grab everything. After it's like all clean. You didn't lose the ground. Here it's falling a bit. I'm gonna just touch it. So when you tiny like caution when you do your pie crust, you should not have like a hole in the bottom, because if you have a hole in the bottom, your quiche is all gonna like spread out. So I'm gonna put this in the oven for about like 30 minutes to start. And while this is cooking, I think we're gonna do like a tiny bit more spinach. Oh, I forgot one thing. Because why did I cut those nice pieces of goat cheese here? I was put on top like that. But I don't use them. My quiche is not gonna be as pretty as I want. So this will have like nice raw piece of goat cheese on top. I put it in the oven for 20 seconds. It's already too hot to cook. Here, we're good for that. So, we have some dough left. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna see how many little pie we can make. So we're not wasting the dough. And you know, like pastry, usually when you do them, you can froze them after. So if you have like some extra tiny quiches you can make, do them. If you're not gonna eat them, froze them. So one day if you have invitees, if you're just lazy or something, you just put them out of the freezer, cook them for a bit, they're ready to eat. Go. I hope the music is not cutting my voice too much, because I've been trying to put music since yesterday I managed to do it today, but I don't know if you can hear it. I hope so. So here, we're gonna do 2 small ones here first. I'm gonna use another knife. So because they're small, I can just grab them by hand, the dough, and that dough is quite good and elastic, so it's resistant. Just gonna put them like that. Always like the corner, the same as the big one. Always do the corner as angles as you can. Push them in the bottom. Here we go. Those 2 first ones, we're gonna roll them like that. Nice and easy. Here. And we're gonna keep doing this till we have no dough. Or no mold. Depends one or the other. Here we roll. A tiny bit of flour. Think I can probably do 2 small ones. Maybe 3. If I make them clean. If you have any question, go ahead. I'll try to answer them. Like I said, the point of the channel is like, if you want to come in the next few weeks, I'm gonna prepare the recipe ahead so you can buy the ingredients and so we can try to do the recipes together. If you are trying them with me, like just tell me if you have a problem. Like, and after maybe we could share what we have all done on social media. Even if it's not good, even if it's a success, so you can all see your improvements. And mine, because me too, if I missed it, it's gonna go on social media too. For the moment I've been good, but time in pastry we miss things, and mostly when we try new ones. For the moment I'm still in my comfort zone, but we'll see when I'm not. It's gonna be funnier, I think. Here. I think we can do one more. Just gonna like infuse everything. This one's gonna be tricky. I should have another one. I used one for the oven. That one and put something else in the oven to block. That's perfect. Oh, well, almost there. It's maybe a little hot. Maybe I'm gonna cool it down a bit in the water. It's all cold. There we go. So what I'm gonna put, I think I have more spinach in the fridge I could use for those, so it makes like, it's gonna be the same one, but I don't think I have anything else. So here, we roll on it. It's gonna be a tiny cracker. Here we go. I'll put that in for a minute. So we're gonna clean up a bit this. A bit more flour on the bone. I hope you are hearing me well. So here, said I'm gonna do a bit more spinach. I'm gonna keep this for the cream. Here that we don't need. Need to clean those. Just grab enough spinach for the small quiches. That's only bonus while we're waiting for the quiche to bake. Here. That should be enough for those few tiny quiches. Clean it well because they're all sandy. This right here. Here, we're gonna start cooking some spinach for the small ones. So don't waste any dough. Those. Here, same, a bit of pepper and salt. Now we're gonna grab a tiny bit more cream, more milk, and more eggs. I think 2 should be enough. Let's start with those 2. And we'll see if we have enough for the small ones. Here, spinach, milk, the quiche looks really good in the oven. Smell it. Probably gonna taste it later. See those this scale to turn it on. It's like, you know, like your secret agent. You put your hand on there and it turned off. If you do anything else, it doesn't work. Put it back at 0. I'm gonna put another gram of milk. Then some salt, nutmeg, muscat in French. A tiny smudge of pimento. And some peppers. Spinach are ready. Just gonna mix that. And we're gonna assemble. I said, like earlier, like the Avengers that assemble all the cakes at the end. So let's put a bit of spinach in all of them. Bit too much in that one. And that should be good. Because I don't want to put some everywhere, I'm just gonna do it with the spoon. So I'm not gonna put some everywhere. I put it everywhere. That's the perfect amount. Need not more at least. They're already filled at the top. And here we're gonna cut 5 nice pieces of blue cheese to put on top. One, 2, 3. That's a bit too much, but it's okay. 0.5. A spoon. See that one a little bit? Oh, that's good. Good. So we're gonna put those in the oven too. So we're good for the preparation today. I'm just gonna clean up. We're just gonna wait like 10 minutes around that for the quiche to be ready. So you can see what we've made today. If you have any question during that time, just ask me. So I'd like to, because I'm having like too much food at home right now for like baking every day. So I'd like to try to find like an association or something to give the food away, because if not, I'm gonna finish obese or something. Like I have like a full lemon pie in the fridge. I still have some bouillon chicken from the other day. So I'm probably gonna try to find an association to give the food away. I gave some to the neighbor, but still not enough. I still have food all over in this place. So, like if you support the channel, probably the food is gonna go like for the association anyway. So, like you're kind of supporting an association. I don't have it yet. Hopefully, I'm gonna have it in a week or two. Today I'm gonna have like a full spinach quiche and like 5 tiny I did, I think. But it's too much food. So I was thinking maybe like contacting like a student association to bring them the food every now and then, like every 2 days or so it doesn't go to waste. I just don't have a problem with associations. They don't like having like fresh products. They prefer like gathering like some cans and stuff because you can keep them longer. It's easier for the what's it called? It's easier for like to give the food away and to prepare it because just cans, you just have like to warm it up. You don't have to worry about the DLCs and the DLO, like the how do you call that in English? Like the pre-emption date. With fresh product, like you have to eat it in the few next day, except you freeze it. So I'm gonna keep uploading also the VODs on YouTube if you missed like one of the recipe or there's something you don't know, or like you forget a question, you can look at it. Maybe we'll answer it. Ah, the quiche is great. It's almost ready. I'm gonna try to make like some longer life, maybe like do like multiple recipes at a time. Because right now I'm doing like around like an hour and a half in general of the life. This one is gonna be like short because it went quite quick. But I'm probably gonna try to manage like 2 recipes or like a longer one so that the life can go like up to 2 hours really, and maybe 3 hours depending on the recipes. Today I just live in the morning because I don't have time to do it this afternoon. I have things to do. Okay, we're gonna clean up. So in 5 minutes I'm gonna be able to show you this pretty quiche within the oven. I can see that the music stopped working at some point. I don't know why it does that. I need to figure it out. I use the Streamlab music app with music, but it's not really stable. It doesn't work that well. Maybe it's problem with my entries or something. Maybe I use like 2 entries for 2 sounds, so I'll try. See, all cleaned up already. So don't worry about cleaning. Usually it's quite quick. So that quiche. There we go. So for quiche, to be sure that it is baked enough, to be sure that the quiche is baked enough, you're just gonna grab it And if you wiggle too much, that means it's not baked. Here you can see that like it doesn't wiggle, so it's all perfectly baked. So here, you can see that pretty quiche. I'm gonna send you the pictures of the small ones when they're ready, because they're probably gonna take a bit longer. So if you have any question, just tell me. I'm gonna finish the live in a few minutes. You're welcome to ask. And hopefully I see I'm probably gonna do the next live on Wednesday night, like probably around 5. I'm gonna play at 5, so it's gonna be a bit later. So yeah, hopefully I see you there. I'm gonna put that one here because my paper is flying around in my oven. Here, I'm gonna put it on a nice plate so I can show you how it looks. Do I have a plate? That's the question. Is that one's gonna fit? Yes. Here, put the things away. And here's the pretty quiche we did this morning. I mean, it doesn't take that long to do, like, because it's mostly like the baking is long, but after it really takes like 20 minutes to do. So I'm gonna finish this live here. So hopefully I see you another day. I said on Wednesday, probably at 6 it's gonna be. So enjoy the rest of your day and goodbye.